On a day-to-day basis, we have between 50 and 70,000 thoughts. Now, the way our psychology works, we don't allow all of these thoughts to determine our reality. We delete and distort these thoughts based upon our beliefs. The question I want to ask you inside is, what are your beliefs right now in regards to the gut, intuition, and the heart? And what's your belief in regards to fear? Most people I find, they mistake the two. Most people in life, the reason why they make bad decisions, the reason why they're never able to create a life of true success and freedom is because they're mistaking fear for the gut intuition, for the heart. Over 20 million people across the globe have now heard my message, where at the end of my video, I say follow your heart and take action and go live the life you're truly born to live. In fact, in my upcoming book, that's the title of the whole book, Follow Your Heart, Take Action, because that's where the magic happens. But most people out there inside, what I found is they mistake fear and they believe they're following their heart, but you're actually following your fear. And that's why I want to pay close attention today, because your decisions shape your life. Your life is the circumstances of the things you've decided upon. And it's very likely if you're not living a dream right now, you've been following your fear and taking action. And so I want you to sit down. I want you to shut off anything else that's going to distract you, because your life literally depends on the information I'm going to share with you today. Because if you aren't happy, satisfied, it's very likely you've been listening to the little voice and you've been fearful, and that's why you're making the wrong decisions. Now, today's video has been inspired by fellow insider, so let me just give her a quick shout out right now. Tara wrote, I'm just going to quickly summarize this in regards to how her passion is to be an illustrator, and that's a dream, but she's currently stuck in a day job and she doesn't know whether or not she wants to quit or whether or not she should stay. But either way, she does want to reach a dream and she wants to know what's the best decision. Tara, normally with my coaching clients, I will allow them to tap into their heart and take action. As after all, at the end of my videos, I say follow your heart, right? Not my heart or somebody else's heart. So today I wanted to share with you this insight to answer this question, because when you get clear in regards to what is your intuition, your truth, and there's been times in your life where you've experienced your truth. If you think back, insider, as well as you, Tara, to the times in your life where those decisions have literally changed your life for the better, that is when you were aligned with your intuition. That's when you're aligned with your heart. The times where you made the wrong decision, those are the times that you're stuck in fear. And this is what I'm going to be revealing to you. So insider, make sure, as always, to actively engage. So in order for you to maximize the retention today, post into the comments box below your biggest insights, the things you want to be reminded over. Because if you just passively listen, only 5% will be retained. If you actively engage by posting in the comments box below your biggest takeaways and so forth, 90% is retained in regards to memory retention, memory recall. So pay close attention. So I'm going to break this down for you so you understand the difference between fear and gut. And from there, insider, you will know what you should be listening out for. What are the signs? Okay, fear. So here are the signs that you're listening to fear. Normally, whenever you're faced with a decision, you'll hear a little voice. And that little voice is the same voice you tend to hear whenever something is going good. For example, you look in the mirror and you will hear the little voice saying, oh, and you'll hear something that says, yeah, you look good. But then you'll hear that little voice that says, oh, but have you seen that spot on your head? Oh, but you don't look good today. Oh, but don't you remember what your friend said? That's the little voice. Whenever you wanted to do something in life and you didn't do it, why was that? It's because of the little voice. It chats away, it justifies, it knows every single trapdoor in your subconscious mind to prove why you should remain where you are and you should take action. I remember when I was younger, one of the first areas of my life I was looking to reinvent was my love life, because I spent most of my life as a socially anxious kid, and I was terribly shy, had low self-esteem, and I remember every time I would go out and try to approach girls, little voice talked me out every single time, saying things like, oh, what if she's taken? Or what if she doesn't like Asians? What if, like, everything you could potentially think of? And so I never ended up taking action until I began to follow the heart. So it's a little voice. Become conscious of it. And if you think right now inside that you don't have the little voice, well, that's the very little voice that's saying you don't have the little voice. Become conscious of it, because this is the voice you should never listen to when you're making a decision based upon your intuition. And as you know, leaders World changers, they talk about intuition. You look at Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, you look at, for example, Elon Musk, all these legendary entrepreneurs that have ever lived on this planet, all talk about intuition. They don't talk about following your fear. This is the importance of you listening and breaking these down, okay? First is little voice. Second, high emotion. Whenever you're looking to take a decision, ask yourself, how do you really feel right now? Because if you feel like your mind is all erratic and you feel like it's crazy and it's like you're getting your palms sweaty and all of the things like that, and you feel like this, it's almost a sense of you feel like your mind's all over the place. If you were to say yes, it's just making you feel a little bit uneasy. Well, that's a sign you're basing that decision upon fear. When the emotion's high, I want you to remember this. Write this down in the comments box below. When the emotion's high, intelligence tends to be low. So, fear-based decisions tend to make the emotions high. Okay? It may feel right in the moment, but those are the decisions you later regret. And I'm sure inside there, you can relate. There are decisions in your life you've made because you felt good, and then did you later regret it? Yes or no? I'm sure you did. And it's because you were basing it upon fear. The next thing is language. Your little voice, think about it, speaks in your own language. So if you speak English, it will speak in English, right? But your intuition, which we're going to cover in a moment, is not a language. It's not a language. It doesn't speak with a language. It's more of a feeling opposed to language. So if you're hearing a language and it's justifying, is logically justifying and so forth, I want you to realize when you know something is right, you take action. But when you're basing it upon fear, the fear will make you sit on it. The fear will constantly make you think. These are the fear-based signs. So it speaks with language, okay? You can hear it literally chatting away, talking to yourself, okay? Now, the next thing is past. You'll notice how if you are making decisions based upon fear, it will begin to logically justify, and also because it knows the trapdoors in regards to, it knows how to convince you and persuade you that you shouldn't do something or you should do something. You'll notice how it begins to bring up things like, oh, but you tried this before. I didn't think it's going to work. And sometimes people who aren't aware of this actually speak this out loud as well. I remember when I was younger, I was looking to start my first business at the age of 17. You may or may not know, I've been in the online business world for the last decade. That's why I had an incredible amount of success. I started at the age of 17, purely based upon intuition. I was working as a toilet cleaner at the time. I didn't know how to do it. If I would have sat down and tried to logically justify it, my mind would have been like, I've never done it. And what was worse was people around me, people who loved me, were the ones who were saying to me, oh, I heard the neighbor tried it once. Oh, I read on the newspaper, it doesn't work, right? It's a scam or whatever it may be. But I followed my heart and took action, and that's when magic began to take off. Started my first business at the age of 17, and I've not looked back since. It's been magical because I've aligned with my truth. So it will bring back such as the past. And so become conscious of this. Whenever the little voice is just mentioning about, oh, but you tried it once, and this is the fear coming up. It's fear rising. And that's the thing that's going to persuade you to take decision on the one thing or another. Another thing, the overall feeling of it in whatever decision you're looking to make, it feels like it's coming from a scarcity feeling. It's constriction energy opposed to abundance and positivity. So it's more of a negative feeling, okay? So ask yourself, whatever decision you're looking to make, does it make you feel a little bit more negative? Does it make you feel like you're constricting if you were to say yes or no? Or does it make you feel like you're stretching your abundance, positivity? Because these are the signs that you're coming from fear. Now, let's go onto the gut. This is the heart, I like to call it. And science have shown in regards to how we've got something called a vagus nerve. Now, they're pretty silent in regards to how it truly works, like from a ground-up level, in regards to why intuition is something that every successful individual talks about. But what they have shown is there is a higher level awareness within every single one of us. You may have seen the video posted a couple of weeks ago in regards to how you can spot a liar. And you may have seen how there is a part of our subconscious mind that can immediately spot somebody who's negative that shouldn't be in our life. But our conscious mind steps in and logically justifies. And that's why we stick with them or maybe get into a relationship with them. And later down the line, we regret that decision because we did not follow our intuition. We did not follow the gut or the heart. So the gut signs, it feels like you know. It's the inner knowing. It feels like it's part of you. You can't logically justify it. It's not the voice. It's not the language that's talking away. It just feels right. Just like how when I started my first business, my friends around me, they were not entrepreneurs. They were extremely negative. I was a drug dealer at the time. I was hanging around with people who would take drugs, and they were the worst peer group you could possibly imagine. And yet I woke up one morning when I began my transformation journey, and I wanted to get into the world of entrepreneurship. It was just like, I don't know why, but it was the inner knowing. And I began to find entrepreneurs very fascinating. So I began to research online, began to join online communities, began to go to mastermind groups, to hang around with entrepreneurs. I didn't know why, but it's the inner knowing. I didn't justify it, it just took action. So think about in your life, the times in your life where you just did stuff without really knowing why you did it. It wasn't an emotional high decision. It wasn't because your intelligence was low. It was just like the right feeling, and you just decided to take action. And it was the right decision. You end up getting the right outcome from it. So it's the inner knowing. That's what you should ask yourself. How do you feel about it in regards to the inner knowing? Does it make you automatically say, yeah, that's right? Or are you sat there like wondering, pondering? Because if you are, that could be based upon fear. Now, the second thing, there's no little voice. When you are truly connected to your heart, your intuition, or as science would put, the vagus nerve, there is no little voice. And that's why it's important inside there that you have morning rituals, morning routines. I've talked about this a lot. I've posted a lot of videos showing success inside there to do with rituals, importance of rituals, having a routine in the evening, and all of this, the reason being, and the reason why I ask myself questions like this every single day, is because of the fact that if you do not have a grounding ritual first thing in the morning, and especially when you're going to sleep at night, realize the 1 hour window frame when you wake up is when you're the closest to your subconscious mind. It's when the inner knowing is the highest. But if you overwhelm yourself, okay, with, I don't know, checking your email inbox, whatever it may be, you'll be drowned out by the little negative thoughts. And I'm sure you know what I mean. When it just feels like your mind is cluttered and it's just being negative, it's because you do not have a firm, empowering, grounding ritual. If, by the way, you do want to download this, I'll gift you it. It's totally free. Follow the link, the card above that will pop up either side of me. You can claim this ritual that you can do every single morning. Ask yourself these questions, and also in the evening. It'll be totally free. It's all on me, okay? So you're going to make sure that there is no little voice. It just feels right. It's a yes, okay? Or it could be a no, okay? But there's a clear distinguishment. It's a clear decision. It's not like, oh, shall I do it, shall I not? Now, like I mentioned before, it feels right, but, here's a but, it's not emotional. When there's a fear-based decision, remember, your emotions are super high. That's why intelligence is low, and that's why the decision will often be wrong. It's a fear-based decision. However, if you are basing it upon your gut, your heart, it just feels right. You can't put words to it. It just feels right. Just like, for example, if you've ever, I don't know, maybe met your partner in a random place. I remember how it happened with me in regards to my fiance right now, my love of my life. It was crazy. At the time, I was a student, and I was working for a part-time for this agency that would basically assign me to different luxury retail stores. And I remember one night before this event happened, I went out and I got really drunk, right, as a student would. And I got home later than ever, around 5 a.m., and I was blind drunk. Normally, I would sleep until 12 p.m., and all of a sudden, I remember, like, the moment I fell asleep, I just remember all of a sudden hearing my phone going off, and it turns out I quickly passed out, and it was already at 7 a.m., my phone was going off. And I thought, oh, shall I answer it, shall I not? But something just automatically just grabbed the phone and just clicked answer and just said, hello. Normally, I would never do that. And they said, hey, Tim, it's basically we're the agency that you've signed up for. Our client, Louis Vuitton, is looking for somebody right now. Do you mind stepping in? We need you there in like literally 1 hour. And I wasn't even ready. I was blind drunk. And normally, I would say no. My fear-based decision was saying no, but something made me just say yes. And I decided to just say yes. I don't even know where it came out. It was the inner knowing. It was just like, yeah, go for it. And I took action. And I remember I quickly got changed, ran out, jumped onto the underground. This was in London. And I headed over to a place called Oxford Street, which is a very famous shopping district in London. And I got to a big shopping department store called Selfridges, where Louis Vuitton was. And I got onto the shop floor. I was looking for Louis Vuitton. I couldn't see it anywhere because it was just like so busy and so many department stores as well. And all of a sudden, I see a girl dangling an LV bag. And I'm just like, oh, I wonder if she knows. So I approached this girl and said, hey, do you know where Louis Vuitton is? And she said, yeah, I work there. Follow me. And that turned out to be my fiance. Your inner intuition, your inner knowing knows what you should be doing. And if you look at the times in your life where you've met people who are now part of your life and you're like, thank goodness they're part of my life. Maybe it's a relationship, or maybe the inner knowing said it's time to end the relationship. Whenever you've ignored those feelings, what ends up happening? You get these signs, you get these rotten feelings, right? And bad things happen. It's because it's fear-based, scarcity-based. Oh, what if I run out of money? What if I don't have somebody to love? It's all scarcity. This is fear speaking. The gut just knows what's the right thing for you. And that's the power of it. Abundance. Abundance. Opposite of scarcity. Think about a decision. Which one makes you feel abundant? Which one makes you feel like you're expanding? It's expansion energy. It makes you feel good. Which one? You want to get clear in regards to that. This is your gut speaking out. The next thing, your fear is often based upon hate, dislikes. And the opposite of that, your gut, it based the decision based upon love. The love. It makes you feel good. Happiness, positivity. These are the signs that your gut is speaking out. So what you got to ask yourself right now, Insider, is what have you been listening to? Which voice? Who's been deciding your reality? What have you been deleting and distorting in regards to the 50 to 70,000 thoughts that you have every single day? Because realize what you see in the world is not what you actually see. Your life is a reflection of you, your personal development, your psychology. We see the world as not it actually is, but as how we are. And that's the importance, Insider, of mastering your own psychology. If you do not master this, nothing will change in your life. And in fact, if you would like to learn more about mastering your mindset as well as your subconscious mind, you can do so by following the link above. It will take you to a page where you can apply to join our Success Inside Academy, which is the most prestigious academy we have for high achievers who want to 10x their personal growth. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, Insider. It's been a bit of a different topic, different from what I normally put out. And if you also like to submit your question, all you have to do is follow the link above or go directly to the link here and you'll be taken over to Facebook Messenger, and that's where you can ask me the question. And that's the only place you can ask me a question, by the way. Remember, Insider, follow your heart, follow your gut. That's the message of the day. And today, I want you to become conscious of who's controlling these decisions. Is it fear or is it your heart? Is it your gut? Okay? You want to get clear of that. So, Insider, as always, follow your heart, my friend, and take action and go live the life you're truly born to live. I'll see you on the next video soon. Take care.